Willow Creek Springs presents Healthy Living with your host, Joe Grumbine.
Well, hello and welcome back to the Healthy Living Podcast. I'm your host, Joe Grumbine, and today we've got a very special guest with us. His name is Severn Lang, and Severn has got quite a story. He helps people see addiction for what it really is, not just a battle with substances, but the quiet everyday ways we hold on when we should be letting go. As a playwright and a filmmaker, he tells stories that makes the emotional tangible, like his powerful account of cleaning out a kitchen shelf overflowing with old ketchup bottles in a moment that mirrored his journey of letting go of grief and baggage from his father. Severn, welcome to the show. I don't
Thank
like to
you.
get too deep into these intros. I'd rather, hear you talk about it yourself. So we're really grateful to have you here and sharing your story. And why don't you tell us a little bit about what brought you here?
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for letting me be on, letting me be here and be present in this adventure of being a part of your story, and thank you, letting me be part of your audience members as well. My sobriety journey and my healing process and my journey of healing is a roller coaster, and like in life in general. Um, my journey started in 2013, in June 10th. Was my sobriety date, my birth date, as we call it. Started in Los Angeles. That's when I submitted to my alcoholism and said I need help. But before that, I was heavily in alcohol, drinking heavily, drinking my emotions away, drinking, suppressing, drinking and suppressing, drink to feel, drink to not feel. It was an ongoing onslaught.
Isn't it wild how an addiction can solve all your problems? It
Yeah,
can make
right.
you happy, it can make you sad, it can open you
Yeah.
up, it can close you off, it can do anything you want it to.
It's a solution of sorts, but it
Right,
creates more problems at
right.
the same time. And it creates what we think is a sociable environment, but it actually creates an isolation, and it creates a separation of a connection. It severs that connection. Uh, and that's the problem for myself, because I'm an introvert and I create isolation habits quickly. What I think is I'm artistic abilities is just a way for my ego to separate myself,
Okay.
to feed itself where it's comfortable, where I need to be sociable, where I need to connect with people. My ego, my alcoholism makes such scenarios where it wants to isolate itself. And that's part of my alcoholism that I'm trying to master, even to 12 years later, still trying to master. But my story, my childhood is what I thought was normal, but it's not. I was raised by a schizophrenic father who was my main caregiver, who neglected his children, who didn't talk to them. And my mother was a very strong woman, but married a schizophrenic husband.
Right.
So that's a powerful person of itself. But to kind of react to that, you have to work a lot to house a family unit. So I didn't really see her that much. And also she, with that responsibility, um, she had to take on a role that, you know, um, it just took on a different role. Uh,
Sure.
and the one a children needs to see a father figure, and unfortunately he wasn't. His paranoia wasn't allowed to be a parent, and so I was already experiencing disconnection. That's how I socialized, was disconnection. And then my older brother, passed away when I was 11. He was 13, and
Wow.
that itself was an issue, because I wasn't able to grieve because every time I asked where my brother was, it triggered my parents to grieve. And so I just learned not to ask anymore because it made them grieve out loud. And so
And
I,
how old were you at the time?
I was 11,
Wow, that's a rough time.
and he was my social ring. And also I'm extremely dyslexic, and he helped me with my dyslexia at that early age because I wasn't getting help with my dyslexia. He was my help.
Wow.
And at that time, my help passed away. So it was a lot of complications. And then on top of it, I was a victim of sexual abuse as well, outside of my family unit. So there was problems on top of problems on top of problems. So I had no escape. Okay. And then alcohol was introduced into myself when I was taking care of communion wine when I was younger. So that was my introductory to alcohol, was communion wine.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
yeah, yeah. So in the world of church and communion wine, there a little tidbit. Churches are not allowed to dump it in the sink technically, unless the sink or unless the particular drain is connected to the ground directly.
Okay.
So the wine has to be
Been
drained.
blessed, and
Yeah,
it's not wine anymore according to the church.
correct. So it has to be drained. It has to be dumped onto holy ground, onto the ground itself, or it has to be consumed completely. So
Wow.
I just consumed it.
You made it easy for them.
Yeah, yeah. So that's generally how it should be handled. It can't be poured back in the bottle. It has once it's poured, and consume it or dump it onto the ground. It
Got
can't be so. At that was a young age. I didn't know that until my best friends of now. They're like, "Oh, did you know this?" I'm like, apparently not, because I blacked out.
Wow.
Yeah. Um, so that's my
You're what age when you're drinking this communion wine? So you're certain like an altar server or
uh,
working.
that's so. Both my parents were pastors.
Okay.
My father was a pastor first, and then my mother became a pastor later. But my father was a pastor, and then due to his mental illness, we were pushed out of a church
Okay.
family unit. So we moved to another family unit where his best friend was a minister as well. So we were joined in another church under another. Basically, we just adapted to another church.
Okay.
So my father could still be a minister as well. But because of his mental illness, he wasn't able to serve full time.
Right. I
Uh,
could imagine.
yeah, so it was weird. He was able to speak to the masses, but he wasn't able to speak to his family
Wow.
or to his kids. He was able to speak to his wife, my mom, but not to me. So
Huh.
I was already disconnected. But so I wasn't able to process emotions correctly, and so for me to deal with emotions, I led into music and art, which was fine, and that was a wonderful unit. Struggle with my dyslexia. College was a problem. High school was a problem because my able to educate myself was a different process, and so that led to isolation already. And so my ego got to me, my alcoholism, but I had it under control. I wasn't really drinking. My drinking stage happened much later in life, after I became 21,
Okay.
which was, I think, a blessing and also not, because once I hit 21, it was downhill.
Okay. Plus, you can just get it anywhere. You just hit
Right.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So once I got into my first career was I became a hairstylist, and I found a decent social ring and a career where I can be an artist as well.
Hmm.
But I would drink and socialize heavily and then isolate to drink my sorrows away and to feel my emotions.
So you would like go to an event and be out there with everybody, and then you'd be a recluse after
Yeah.
that. Wow.
Yeah. So I would only hit the event for maybe an hour and a half,
Okay.
and then I'll disappear.
Ah,
And
one of those guys.
yeah, I'll just show up and then disappear. When the event was for like for 5-6 hours,
Got it.
I'll just be present and then go away. When everyone was sober, I was lit,
Got it.
and then I would just go home and just do art. But my father passed away in 2008. I was in my alcoholism at its full force. I was drinking about a half a gallon of alcohol
Wow.
about every 36 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. And that lasted for a good 8 years or so. And I wasn't
You'll
able,
never survive that.
I it's a miracle that I wasn't having major health issues at that time.
Huh.
It's, I'm still shocked with that process as well,
Sure.
because that's a damage of its own.
Well, it seems you have a purpose.
Exactly. So when my father passed away, I know that there was a problem. There was still a hard connection between me and my father, because I woke up in the middle of the morning at 4 o'clock and I had this intuition to go to him.
Hmm.
And 2 hours later, because it would took me 3 hours, he passed away. I knew it'd take me 3 hours to get to him, so I would have made it to him right when he passed away, but I chose to stay.
Okay.
And then once I figured that out, my drinking habits skyrocketed.
Got it.
And then I moved to Los Angeles for a career shift. And then all of a sudden, my health plummeted and my career changed because I started drinking even more, but I isolated more.
Okay.
Even though I was surrounded by people and my career was promising, and I couldn't process my emotions. I stopped talking to people. I
Wow.
stopped socializing with people. I became pretty much mute with people, even though this career is the hair career was about talking to people.
Right.
It ironically, but I drank myself to homelessness. Uh,
Wow.
Luckily, I had a friend who was going through a divorce. She needed someone in the house. She found out I was homeless, and she asked me to stay in her house, to have a body in the house. And she knew I needed help. But I promised myself I wouldn't drink, and obviously that didn't last long.
Yeah.
Within a week, I was drinking it in the house and constricting hours, but that didn't work. Then something broke. Another mutual friend asked me to go to like a life-changing event, um, like a um, like a leadership training.
Okay.
So I went to this training thing, and they asked me certain questions, and the question was, do you like what you hear? Do you think you like this? And what are you tired of? Things, simple questions.
Right.
And my response was, I'm tired of pissing in the wind.
Hmm.
I'm just tired of life. And that's it. And I sat down,
Wow.
and that was it. And that submission of, I'm acknowledging that I'm tired of this life. And it was almost like it felt like a suicide note.
Wow.
Like, it felt like a suicide note, really. And someone felt that and came up to me like, I'm sponsoring you for this training program. And through this training program, it broke the ice to admit in front of thousands of people saying, I think I have a problem with alcohol.
Hi, this is Joe Grumbine, and I wanted to share an update. The platform that hosts this podcast has made some changes to the subscriber settings, and we have a number of subscriber-only episodes that we offer to the supporters, and for a minimum of $3 a month, we can get you signed up. And if you're already signed up and you're having some kind of trouble locating these episodes in the other platforms, I would say maybe the best answer is to unsubscribe and then resubscribe. I'm sorry for the hassle. I don't have any way to make a change, but I'm very grateful for all the support. Thank you. No kidding. Was this a faith-based trend
No,
or just a secular thing?
there was just it's called a forum,
Okay.
and it's just basically it's a leadership program
All
for
right.
for people, for management, just to go in for helping people to learn how to manage people.
Got it.
And their method is help manage yourself to manage others.
Makes
That's
sense.
yeah, it was wonderful, but it breaks down the ego
Mm-hmm.
to help other people.
Wow.
And by doing that, it made me realize I need help with alcohol. And luckily, in recovery, we have the saying of the Eskimo. So my Eskimo is my cousin, Eric Lang. He has been in recovery since his early 20s. He's 2 years younger than me, so he's been in it very, very long time.
So
Long time. And he took me to my first recovery meeting, but he's like, hey, Severn, can you take me to a recovery meeting, because I need to share.
Nice.
But he's like,
A good way to get you to come in, right?
yeah, can you support me?
Yeah.
So those things triggered and made me feel like I think I have a problem with alcohol. And then months later, after the realization I have a drinking problem, the only job I could have, or I could hold, was an assistant to another hairstylist. And I'm already 6-8 years in
Right.
to a path of success, and I'm assisting 1 day a week
Wow.
because I was drinking myself to death, slow, painful death. And a client, God bless her soul, she grabbed me and she's like, Severin, you look horrible. What is wrong with you?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, when you meet someone, they ask one question and for some reason you just blurt something out.
Yeah. Just cuts right into you.
It
Yeah.
just, poof.
Yeah.
Well, that was it. That was like, I think I drink too much. That was it.
Okay.
She pulled me in. She's like,
Somebody you didn't know prior to that.
I knew her a couple times, and we had, I was helping the hairstylist. She's not my client.
Oh, okay.
She was the salon client.
Okay.
She was like, hey, give me your number. Answer this telephone number. It's my husband. He's sober for like 15 years. And then she told me her life story. She's clean and sober for 18. And this gentleman called me. We met for coffee. He's like, can you tell me why my wife told you? So I told the story. And he's like, my wife told you that she's clean? I'm like, yeah, from heroin and meth. And
Mhm.
like, okay, that itself is a miracle. She tells no one.
Wow.
She keeps that lock tight security. She doesn't tell anyone. So you must really look bad and desperate. And like yeah. And then from there, I got sober. And then sponsorship is, a community is very important for when you're struggling.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's very huge.
It doesn't
So
matter what program it is, it's
no, it doesn't.
having somebody that you can, because you're always going to go through that moment of weakness where you're just like, I don't know if I can do it. But if you can reach out to one person and go, hey,
Yeah.
and know that they're speaking your language, they know what you're going through. They've been there, they're doing it.
Yeah.
That's the big difference right there.
It's huge. The wonderful part of recovery is a community that's gone to similar things, is knowing that you can go to someone and like, I'm going through this experience. Like, I know that feeling.
Hmm.
Or like, okay, I don't know exactly that process, or like I never been through that, but I do know someone that went through it.
Sure.
Let me connect you, and I'll support you while you talk to that person. And so we can collaborate and help you. So that's the beautiful thing about recovery of any program, any spiritual path that has a way to heal.
Hmm.
So as I get through this recovery process, I'm going through AA. That's my steps.
Sure.
But I realize as we go through recovery, the 12-step program, I can apply it to other modalities, other things.
Right.
And the longer I became in recovery, the longer I realized I'm in the wrong path of my career, and I needed to shift my career into a different. So I realized that my passions are more storytelling, um, more life skills, which is vision, more directing, more uh, ironically writing. Because I, even though I'm extremely dyslexic, I'm a creative. I can, words are troubling to write, but ironically, I can actually write decently to help and create a storyline and things like that. So,
Nice.
um, so it was nice to be clear-headed and realize my weaknesses is actually a great strength. I just need to find a way to work around it. So I found a co-writer and we write together. It's
Nice.
wonderful. So the more we become recovered, I realize the ego is I call it my alcoholism, my ego wants to stay in its comfort zone. So it will
Hmm.
fight me to stay in comfort. And that is drinking or stay in my disease. So stay in my isolation mode. So
Hmm.
I would find it will find, or I will find ways to stay isolated. So I will start doing um, negative things to stay isolated. And one of those things is um, uh, like doing art projects. They'll keep me isolated and not tell
Immerse
anyone.
yourself in something so you got a good
Yeah,
excuse while you're not there.
yeah, and I won't tell anyone about it. The
Yeah.
thing is, I won't tell anyone about it, and if I don't tell anyone about it, that will defeat the whole purpose of the project, type of thing. But if I keep on telling people about it, that keeps me active and socializing. They're like, see, this is what I'm doing,
Right.
you know. But I notice that I'm staying stagnant in my program, and I notice my alcoholism is gathering things, and I'm excessive in shopping, excessive in gathering things, and excessive, um, just excessive. And so I apply my program into shopaholics type of
Uh-huh.
thing. And so I decided to declutter things.
Nice.
So I gather my items into moving boxes and left them in each room. And whatever I got, like I needed something, I took it out and I put it away when I used it. And then I applied, why am I holding on to these items? And if it's emotional tie, then I use the program, my 12-step program, to figure out what's the emotional tie. And I have to use, is it a need? Is it a want? Is it a regret? And like, okay, what is my part to it? Is it something that I can work with? Or is it can I give it as an heirloom to someone? So I use a process to get rid of it or keep it. But if I keep it, am I able to pass it along? Then
Insightful. I don't think that people realize so much that an addiction is easily transferred into something else. Like you see the guys at the 12-step program, they're all smoking, chain smoking and drinking cup after cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, okay, I guess you're not drinking anymore, but you're doing something else that's pretty
Yeah.
yeah.
It is transferable. Like, so I had the nice blessing to be a hairstylist, to notice clients and habits of, like, I had some clients that are divorced and they'll say that they're divorced even it's been 15 years. And I finally had enough with a client. I'm like, bro, you're single. You got a divorce.
This has been another episode of the Healthy Living Podcast. We produce this show so that people can share their stories, people that have overcome obstacles, people that are undergoing obstacles. We're building a community of health-minded individuals. If you're interested in supporting the show, please leave a review on the platform you're listening to it on. If you're interested in becoming a guest, please send an email to itsjoegrumbine@gmail.com, or you can send a note into the notes section of the podcast. All right. Well, thank you for supporting this show, and we hope you've enjoyed it.